It's recording.
Okay. Well, last time, if I remember correctly, you guys went from Goldheim to Windmere, where you sold off some of your things, and now you have gone to use the teleporter to return to Passage.
Seems
We've
correct.
been in Passage.
You've returned to Passage. You're in Passage now, and things are good. And if I remember correctly, the last time you guys all did your things that you were doing for the day and then went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, start of the following morning. What would you guys like to do?
We should probably get in touch with those village people.
Yeah,
And so it begins!
We can ask for autographs.
oh my guys.
I'm kidding.
Nick looks like he's in actual pain.
Nice. We went a whole 2 minutes before calling them the village people.
God damn it.
I didn't intend on the joke. What do you want me to call them? Just the people? Like, that sounds
villagers?
No,
very
it's okay. It's okay. The damage is done now.
No. I don't think you understand. I want you to call them the village people.
We can also call them the villagers, which is the actual word.
I like village people better.
I like the village people.
No, same. I like their music.
We are way too invested now. There's no stopping it.
My stomach hurts.
Are you gonna be okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, so we agreed last night that we had 3 options, like 3 things we could possibly do to like fix that situation. We could find another place for like another town that would maybe accept the Goblins.
Mm-hmm.
We another option would be helping them start like their own little town,
Mm-hmm.
or getting them to just live
Live with the
together with the
village
humans
people.
that originally lived there.
Yeah. Like, try to get them to sit down and negotiate, like, a compromise in a way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess what we need to do today is go see the village people and talk to them.
Okay.
Are you guys okay with
You
that?
all yeah, I heard something that was very concerning.
All right. So you guys head off toward the warehouse sort of district where one of these warehouses has been converted into a living space for all of those townsfolk that came from Derndarum. And you head inside and you find the gentleman, the human that you've been speaking to kind of recently, the one with the fabulous looking mustache.
Fantastic.
Is he a firefighter?
Macho man.
Oh no,
I
guys,
want
this
to
is how we
be
die.
a macho man. So you approach him and he looks eager to hear your solution. What would you like to say?
Okay. Fuck, we should have worn the bunny suits, damn it. I'm not saying that.
That would have been pretty awesome if Dice said that. Just like, oh, we should have fucking worn bunny suits. God
Excuse
damn
me,
it.
the what?
That would have been perfect though. Just wear bunny suits to like go meet up with the village people.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. It's like, guess what? It's for some unexplained reason, when you guys were gone, they spontaneously combust.
They're gone now. Well, what was the last thing we said to them? We explained to them like that the goblins are peaceful people and that they would probably be very happy to like share the town. But the guy said to us that they shouldn't have to share it because it was their town to begin with, which like I mean, fair enough. That's true.
Yeah.
But death is not an option at this point. Let's.
We can maybe try and discuss with them the possibility of having a talk with like the goblin mayor.
Yeah, and maybe we can like strike up like
Negotiate.
negotiate, and if anything, like maybe try to convince the goblin mayor to move out of town, and like we can start like a new village for them, and maybe they can work together to help make this village for them.
Yeah, they seemed like they felt bad about like their old ways.
Mm-hmm.
From what I remember, anyway. I don't know. Kay was the one talking to the guy.
Yeah. Seems about right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we could try to discuss that. Just like maybe we can arrange like a meeting so like you guys can discuss the situation, like maybe negotiate a solution without having to like heal.
You like resort to violence.
Yep.
The goblin, I remember the goblin mayor pretty much just told me like that if there was to be an attack on their town, they wouldn't be able to fight it off properly or something.
I mean,
Yeah.
Probably that sounds about right.
Last time we encountered goblins, we kind of blew through them pretty quickly. So yeah, seems about right.
So yeah, basically that's probably what we should say to him. Like we need to like arrange like a meeting so they can discuss that Gunther speaks Goblin and that he can like translate.
Yeah. Gunther might have actually no, probably not.
So yeah, that's.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say Gunther might have to put it on his disguise again, but I'd rather not.
But you look so good as a goblin.
I think using a disguise might hurt our case in this case.
Yeah.
It probably
would.
would.
Yeah.
Top 10 anime betrayals is probably what it would feel like for the goblins.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what we're going with. That's what we're saying. Like, we need to like arrange like a meeting with Goblin Mayor.
Who's the actual mayor between them? Probably gonna have to ask that.
Yeah, who was like the leader of like the original
Was it?
town?
Was it the guy with the fabulous mustache?
No, the old town mayor was killed in the initial raid by the goblins.
Oh.
But,
Whoops.
this guy is kind of taking it upon himself to like run the town in that guy's stead.
Mm.
Well, I guess that's gonna be him.
Yep.
So who's gonna talk to the guy who's in charge?
I would say Gunther might be best for that because he has the best situation.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay. So you approach the leader of the village people.
The lead singer.
This very macho
Yeah.
man.
The front man, if you will,
Interrupts their choreographed dance.
Oh my god.
By the way, Press, I don't see you in Roll20 anymore.
Yeah, I'll be there in a second. It's just the laptop's being really shitty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Literally exploded, didn't it? Okay.
Well,
So.
Oh no.
Oh.
It's like actually worse than last time.
So
yeah. So, Gunther, you approach the front man, if you will, of the village people.
Yeah, and Gunther greets him and says that we've come to talk about the goblin problem.
So it's on the freaking village people.
We've come about the village people.
Yes, that's us.
It says, well, that's excellent news. What's your solution?
Well, we've been discussing, and well, it really is up to you. But I feel like maybe we think you and the leader of the goblins probably should have a meeting of some sort.
A meeting
Yes,
with a goblin.
absolutely. I know it sounds silly. It sounds ridiculous. I agree with you on that.
Gunther, don't be racist.
Roll a persuasion check.
Alright, hold on. New. If it wants to roll someday.
Oh, ow.
Okay.
Can you fight? Can you fight that?
He considers it for a little while, and he says, "Okay, I'll go for a meeting. I'll just let everyone know where I'm going, and is there somewhere that I should meet you before we go in to speak with them?"
Probably
Do
the
I'd say the
guild,
scabbard.
right? Yeah.
Okay. All right, I will meet you at the scabbard in just a bit. Are you willing to go and do this today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I wasn't trying to like.
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah. Do you guys have anything else you want to do?
There was something I might want to do first. Actually,
Okay.
might
Is it?
might want to like that's out of character. though.
Schedule for like.
Yeah, like talk to the goblin mayor as well, so he's aware of what's going on,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
and he doesn't think we're just
That's
bringing a
actually
fucking
smart.
raid to their town.
That's actually a very smart move.
So are you running ahead then to go and speak with him, or?
Yeah, I'll probably go. I'm thinking we're probably going to go ahead and see the goblin mayor first before we bring in the guy.
Okay.
Well, what we can do is we just head there all together, and Gunther goes in by himself, like first, and he talks to him, and then we bring like the rest of us and like the guy.
Yeah, actually, we can do that and just have the meeting outside of town or something.
Okay. It's going to be about a 2-day trip to Denderum, like on horseback.
All right.
So
So yeah, I guess we can go as soon as possible then.
okay. So you gather together your things, find your mounts where you'd left them at the stables with the scabbard, and
Are they still hella shook from the teleport incident? I'm kidding.
they're recovered. Been a little anxious for a while, but they're okay. So you take your horses, and then you meet. You wait around at the scabbard building for a while. Is there anything you like last minute you want to do really quick before you leave?
I kind of wanted to run to the bank and put my money like in a savings thing, so that way I don't get robbed.
That would be a good thing too. Even though I have my bag of holding, I should probably do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I feel like we should just all go to the bank real stinking quick.
All right. So all of you rush off to the bank. While Diana sits and enjoys a cup of tea with Eris.
Simon Smart and I already did that.
I'm sorry, I wanted to see my family.
Just like family. So you all head over to the Electrum Trading Company and organize like your money storage. How much are each of you depositing?
I'll put in about. Hold on.
I'm gonna put in about 20,000 because that will leave me about with like the 600 I originally had.
Okay.
I will put in 21,071.
Oh,
Okay.
actually, 21,000 for me. I did the math wrong.
That means
Well.
I keep 1,500 on me.
All right, so keep track of all of that.
Yeah, I put it in the Electrum piece because Electrum Trading Company.
Okay, let me just. Where did you put it, Kay? So that way I kind of know.
The
like...
one just before the
The
gold.
one just above the goal.
Yeah, the one that says
okay.
EP.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. I was just wondering that way I actually know exactly where my money is. There we go.
Okay, I'll put in 20,000.
Okay. So all of you keep track of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you guys put away all of your gold, store it away in the bank so it's nice and safe. In order to withdraw it, you'll have to go to any of the Electrum Trading Company guild buildings in any of the major cities.
I got a question.
Yes.
Are we also able to deposit other goods like gems?
Oh yeah, like a lockbox, right?
Yeah, you
Just
can
gems?
put items in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think probably should deposit some of those gems.
Yeah.
Maybe a good idea to put it like in a.
Well, we can like do that at this point since we're putting them away and like we just each like put some of it in. Or however you guys want, it really doesn't matter. Since we're like selling them later anyway.
Sorry, I didn't catch much of that because you kept cutting up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I was just saying we could either like split those like and we each like keep our share, or it really doesn't matter in the end. We could just like put and just sell them.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Alright, well, I'll keep them on me then.
Okay. So, you guys deposit all your McMoneys and head back toward the scabbard, where you find Diana and the leader of the village people, kind of waiting there. He's brought his own horse. So, what would you guys like to do? You like to head off, or?
Yeah, that'd be the smart thing to do.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Once he's there, I
Alright.
mean, there's not much we can do. Like, we should probably not just, like, fuck around.
Yeah,
Is there-
we've had these guys waiting for a long time.
Yeah, and he's there for business. Might as well just go.
Mhm.
All right. So on the first day, you guys make it to about here, and set up camp.
Yeah, and I set up the boot and say soul searching.
Okay.
Because
So you
why
set up
not?
the boot camp. You set up the boot camp and get that all ready and spend the night there. Gathered around the boot with Stu. And is anyone keeping watch, or is it just going to be let the boot do its thing?
Yeah, probably should keep watch anyway.
Mhm.
Okay. Who's going to be keeping watch?
Zara will do it.
Okay.
Alright.
All right. As everybody gets their rest, the mustachioed man included, I will get the Zyra to roll a perception check. Okay.
Well, we're dead.
So you
Dragon
guys,
just blasts us with lightning.
hang out there for the night, gathered around the boot, and it's a really quiet night. There's like a nice cool breeze rolling through. which is nice considering it's like it's getting around like the end of summer and things are starting to get a bit starting to cool off a bit, and it's just sort of a sign of the nice cooler times to come this coming fall. And nothing really happens.
That's concerning.
You continue through your good 4 hours of watch, and then Faye wakes from her sleep, and it's her turn to take watch. So Lazira gets some rest, and
as she's going to bed, she says, "I hope you like staring at nothing for the next 4 hours."
It's what I do every night.
I mean, it is.
It is. It's not a lie.
So Faye, roll a perception check for your watch. Sweet.
Oh no.
Again, it's as the morning comes by, you can smell rain in the air, and by the time you guys arrive in Derndarom, it might start to sort of sprinkle a bit later in the day. But for now, it seems all right. There's a nice cool breeze, and you don't really notice anything off. But the 4 hours pass by, and morning rolls around. And as the sun starts rising over the horizon, everybody packs up, hops on their horses, and you continue along. By the time you move the rest of the way and arrive in Derndarom, it's sort of late afternoon. It was a pretty cruisy ride. There was no interruptions or distractions or anything nasty that happened. It was a pretty smooth ride. And you arrive and you stop at the set of trees that are a good few miles to the east of town that you stopped at last time. So who's going in first?
It's gonna be Gunther.
All right.
Yeah, he's the only one that actually speaks Goblin.
Yep. And this time he's not going in disguise, so it's gonna be interesting.
Should someone go with him?
Can you just say that? Yeah, it could be a good idea if someone came.
Who might seem the least threatening?
Faye?
Gunther is not very.
I mean, you're not wrong. Because the option is
A devil child and then
elf,
a scary
the
wolf
devil
with a scar
child.
on her face.
yeah, that's
All right,
yeah.
I'll go with Gunther.
That's good. That's good. And it also helps that Gunther is not very threatening looking.
He kind of looks like a weenie. Actually, Faye's probably more intimidating than Gunther.
He looks like a fool. I can say that because I'm Gunther. Anyway.
Okay. So Gunther's heading in, and who else? Faye?
Yeah.
All right. So the two of you approach the town, and you leave your horses a bit behind, I assume, so that you don't come in with too intimidating a presence on horseback. And as you approach, you walk into the town, and you are stopped by a couple of goblins. One of them wielding a sword and a shield, and one of them has a small, kind of like a makeshift crossbow.
Oh joy!
Step out in front of you and attempt to stop you.
Does he say
I mean, he's
anything?
small. We could just push him down.
That wouldn't go over very well, would it?
No, but I'm just saying that is an option.
I like the use of the word attempt.
I almost feel like the situation is going to end in being called the Great Goblin Genocide.
Oh, jeez, I hope not.
I hope not.
Please no.
Okay, so when he stops us, does he say anything?
Yes. To Faye, it sounds like just incoherent babbling.
Help.
But to Gunther, you understand that in Goblin, he says something along the lines of halt and who goes there.
Okay, well, Gunther responds by stating his name, saying his name is Gunther, and that he's come to meet the mayor,
Okay.
and that an acquaintance sent him.
Okay. You see them roll a persuasion check real quick,
Alrighty then.
because they're a bit sketched out by people. Alrighty.
I mean, he has a plus
Plus
10,
10.
so
I sure
yeah.
like my plus 10.
Fuck.
So in Goblin, I assume you respond with that phrase.
Yeah, exactly.
And they kind of look at each other for a moment, and then they kind of whisper to one another, and then back at you, and then they whisper again, and then they look back at you, and the one with the sword and shield kind of nods and waves you through. The one with the crossbow lifts his crossbow and steps aside into the little side alley that he popped out of. The one with the sword and shield walks into town, leading you toward the same building that you went to previously when you were in disguise, and takes you to the mayor's offices.
Alrighty then.
The two of you walk inside, and you're greeted by the mayor's assistant that you saw previously, the one that's all wearing makeup, wearing a nice looking sort of businessy attire, sort of suit, sitting behind her desk and filling out what seems to be paperwork of some sort. And almost as soon as you walk in, she points at the bench off to the side by the wall that you sat on previously while you were waiting.
Alright, so Gunther goes to sit them, and he, well, just kind of greets her as he passes by.
Okay. You notice that she keeps sort of looking up at you guys, like from her paperwork that she's filling out. She keeps glancing up at you.
I don't blame her.
She seems a little suspicious of you guys. So anything you'd like to do while you're waiting?
Well, Gunther is just basically gonna wait, and also might as well just, yeah, Gunther asks Faye, want me to translate if anything important comes up?
Yeah, that would be nice. All I've heard is like incoherent like screeching for the past 15 minutes. So yeah, that would be quite nice.
Yeah, no problem. I can do that.
It did sound an awful lot just sort of like
I bet Faye was just trying really hard not to laugh whenever like Gunther like
actually fantastic.
Meanwhile, like fucking Faye's just sitting there like fucking hold on. If it will load.
Yeah. There's a lot of this strange back and forth going on. Just that babbling, and like Gunther replies and introduces himself, and just like Gunther. because there is no
Amazing.
translation for his name.
No, there's none.
Oh my god. Help. Gay beer.
After some time, Flaffs, the mayor's aide there, she looks up at you and she says, "The mayor will see you now," but in common.
What?
Yep.
Oh.
All right, so good. Oh, Chris just disconnected.
Yeah, she just had her alarm go off, I think, and it just kind of kicked her out.
Oh.
Exactly what happened.
Rip.
Right, so Gunther thanks her and he heads to the mayor's office.
Okay. So you guys walk up the stairs toward the mayor's office, and as you're going up the stairs, the door to his office opens, and out steps the same goblin that you saw last time step out of the office and heads down the stairs past you guys.
You mean the same one that was meeting with the mayor last time we came?
Yes.
He must be very important. Or have a lot of problems.
What was that? Can you repeat?
Oh, what I said?
Well, what Nick just said.
Oh.
Oh, I was just saying, like, the goblin that, as they're walking up the stairs, the same goblin they saw exiting that place last time walked by them down the stairs. And you head up past him and enter the office. And as you walk in, you can see him sort of straightening up his tie, and like he's looking in a mirror and like fixing up his hair and making it look all pretty and stuff. And turns around and sees you. And immediately he's just like, guards!
And Gunther says, oh, I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have come here unannounced, but I did ask to have a meeting with you, and was taken to the town hall.
He kind of looks over the two of you, and in sort of his panicked state, he's all sweaty and just freaked out. He says, "Yes, well, of course, I remember. Have a seat. You could, humans, elves."
Well, I'm a bit of both.
Oh, no.
He,
I mean, he got that right.
yeah,
Did you assume my race?
he
Faye's very offended.
Yeah. I keep it. Wait, was he saying this in common or in goblin?
Oh, this was in common, yes.
Okay, yeah. No,
Oh,
she
so
was
you can
offended.
speak common.
Yeah.
This is going to be good then.
And you see him sort of plod by behind his desk and like hop up onto his office chair, which is too big for him.
Does he sit on a
That's adorable.
Does he sit on a dictionary?
No, he sits normally. He's just he looks kind of low behind the desk slightly.
Oh my god, that's so adorable.
He's wearing fairly fancy clothing. He's got kind of like a black coat, and he has a small black hat that he's taken off and placed on the desk beside him.
Is it just Mayor from Powerpuff Girls, basically?
Essentially.
Oh my god.
Except he's a goblin.
Yeah, except he's a goblin. He's the same, but more green. And less mustache.
Oh, okay.
But he says, "Sir, how can I help you?"
Yes, so an acquaintance of mine told me about you and your town. I don't know if you recall him. His name is Gregory. And he's a hobgoblin?
Gregory. Oh, yes, I recall Gregory.
Yes, well, he thought that we would be have an interest in speaking with you, so here we are. And yes, so I was wondering if you would have an interest in speaking with the the leader of the village people that were here previously.
Fuck.
He roll a persuasion check real quick.
Time to shine.
Okay.
God.
He says, "Yes, I'd be very open to a meeting. I feel like reaching a peaceful agreement between us is the only way that we could really progress as a unified community."
That's great then. When would you be available? Because we would be available right about now if you are.
Not suspicious at all.
What? He's here?
Well, he's not in town, but he's nearby and he's alone.
Yes. And he just sort of like scrambles through like the drawers on his desk, and he takes out like a piece of parchment and a pen, and he begins sort of writing something down. And he says, "Yes, if you go and fetch him, I will cancel my appointments for the day, and we can speak of a peaceful treaty."
Well, that's good. Should we bring him in, or would you be willing to go out of town with us?
Oh my god.
That's a legit question. I don't have anything bad about it.
Right. Roll a persuasion check.
Oh no.
Okay. He kind of looks you over, and he's like, I understand that neutral ground might be more comfortable for the human, but not so much for me. You all have me rather outnumbered in that case, and I would much prefer doing things here in the town. So you could bring him here to my office. That would be wonderful.
That is not a problem. If we could have a summon this like a warning for the guards so that they are aware of that, so we don't have to explain it, that would be perfect.
Sure. Yes, I will send out a message to all of the townsfolk.
Perfect.
This is so insane, you guys.
I know, right?
And he's kind of like tapping at his desk, like anxiously, just sweating, and he's like, "So,
Yes. Well, we can go get him now. So we'll be right back.
yeah, yes, good. Go do that. I'll be here, waiting."
Perfect. And Gunther pretty much just leaves the office and goes out of town to meet with everyone.
Okay.
It just has a very confused look on her face the whole time.
All right. So you follow Gunther out of town, I assume,
No, I just stay there. I just sit in his
and
office.
just stare at him.
She just looks at him
What
like.
are you?
She's just looking at him with her eyes open wide, like doesn't blink.
She's like,
breathing
so the
heavily.
weather's been pretty nice, huh?
I thought it was gonna rain today, but you know.
Those clouds, am I right?
I mean, you know how Faye is with green people.
Shut up. I think these ones are a little too tiny for her liking. It's like the same thing with gnomes with Lyra.
Not enough greenery.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Not enough green per unit green.
Oh my god.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So, you guys head east out of town and meet back up with Lazira and Diana and the mustachioed man.
Fuck.
The Village People lead singer.
Yes.
Right, so Gunther brings in the news that he's arranged a meeting with the mayor, but we'll have to do this in town.
In there. The one that's full of goblins.
Yes, it'll be fine.
Don't worry about it. You're with us.
Okay.
As you can see, Faye and I walked in without a problem.
They wear people clothes, is all she says.
That's right, you weren't there last time, were you?
Yeah, she wasn't. It was only Diana and Gunther.
That's why I'm like super confused and everything. She's like, what the fuck did I just see?
I know, right?
Nani the fuck.
I know it seems strange, but you'll get used to it. After your second visit, at least.
I sure hope so.
Right. So we should go then.
Yes.
He's waiting. The mayor is waiting in his office.
All right. And he kind of straightens up his shirt and walks over behind you. You can see him sort of like with his fingers just sort of checking everything's in order, like his shirt's all correct,
dirty.
and like he's checking his mustache and everything.
I think this guy may have a thing for goblins.
I hope not.
Otherwise, this meeting is probably gonna end up very, very, very horrible.
I don't want to be there to see that.
Go from a meeting
I
to a
don't think
meeting.
anyone does.
So,
You ever wanted to see a sex scene between the Goblin Mayor and the leader of the Village People?
Oh no!
God.
Stop.
Rule 34, I guarantee it's been done.
Oh, probably.
No! No!
If not, Jake can be the one doing it.
So you guys head toward the eastern gates again. It takes you about an hour to get out of town and an hour back to where you were. And as you return, you notice that there is a heavy absence of goblin presence. Like there's just nobody around. It's almost like a ghost town.
Oh
He
my
just
god.
pretty much sheltered themselves or something.
Possibly. But you continue through town back toward the mayor's office. And you can see two goblin guards posted up out front. Two of them holding the crossbows that you saw earlier.
All right, and Gunther says that we're here for the meeting with the mayor.
They silently just kind of look over at both of you and all of you, and one of them just kind of nods and lets you pass through. So you guys walk into the building, and you can see just goblins everywhere. Like there's probably about 7 or 8 goblins in the room around where Flaffs is. All the ones with like swords and shields.
Yeah, I can understand why they'd be worried.
Oh boy.
And you can see the leader of the village people is looking pretty anxious.
Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Give him a pat on the back.
So Diana gives him a pat on the back, and you see him just sort of almost jump out of his skin. You guys all walk in, and Diana pats him on the back, and he's like, "Oh, what?"
Oh my god.
Stop, man. You'll be fine.
It'll be all right.
Lazira just kind of eyes the mayor and says, "Is all this really necessary?"
The mayor's aide is there. The mayor is up in his office.
Okay. I say it to her then.
Okay. She kind of looks at you and she has a look on her face like she's thinking and sort of her eyes sort of gliding over all of you and sizing you all up, and she says, "I haven't quite decided yet."
Fair enough.
So the mayor's in his office, yes?
Yes.
All right.
So you guys
Let's
continue
head
up the
on.
stairs to the office, wherein you find the mayor sitting behind his desk with another 6 goblins around, like 3 on either side of the room, just sort of standing there with their sword and shield. Like it's more like a short sword and a buckler, but in their hands it looks much bigger.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, they're all standing around and just kind of keeping guard. I'll get anyone who's curious to roll a insight check from these guards.
Nice.
Nailed it.
Is it not working?
Because I was like, it's fine.
It's very slow. Can you just roll that for me?
I sure can. If you have any checks you want to make, just let me know and I'll roll it for you.
Yeah. Sometimes it works fine. It just so happened to like freeze like right now.
Oh no. Okay. So everything in here seems the mood seems pretty tense and stern, like they all seem pretty solid and confident and ready to go. However, Faye and Diana, you guys both notice that the guards look pretty anxious and shaky and nervous.
Oh no.
They do not
no.
in the slightest bit look confident in their abilities.
Oh no, we could wreck him.
I know, we could destroy them so easily.
We did once kill a god.
We just killed, we killed a deity and we just killed a goddess. Like, it's fine.
So, you walk in and the Goblin Mayor is sitting there, and he has a document in front of him and a quill and inkwell beside it, and he extends a hand forward to offer a seat to. Well, there are 2 seats opposite him that are available. Everyone else will have to stand, but yeah, he extends a hand to offer a seat.
So one for the leader of the village people, and I guess the other one could be for Gunther, since he's gonna be doing a lot of talking.
Okay.
Yeah, Gunther. The girls are just like bodyguards at this point, so I mean.
Yeah. The hired muscle.
Pretty much. They all
These
have more
ripped-ass
muscle than
chicks.
Gunther.
This is true. So, Gunther and the leader of the village people sit down. And there's a lot of silence and sweating. You can hear the clock from downstairs, the old grandfather clock from outside the office in Flaff's sort of space, sort of ticking left and right, and that sound is echoing up the stairwell and into this room.
That's less. Huh?
And yeah, the sound, it's just more like the absence of the rest of the sound is making that very apparent. It's a very tense mood.
So Gunther will break the silence by clearing his throat and saying that, yes, we've come here for a meeting between you two to come to an agreement of sort.
And the Goblin Mayor nods, and he says, "Well, it's good to meet you. I'm Perks. What's your name?" And the guy is sitting there, kind of. He's folding his arms, and you can see that he's like making himself look like a more intimidating presence as best he can.
It's gonna be tough.
He looks over at Gunther, and then he looks back over at the mayor, and then he has a moment of like inner turmoil for a moment, and then takes a deep breath and extends a hand across the desk. He says, "Frederick Zink," and the mayor takes his hand and shakes it. The mayor's hand is tiny inside this guy's hand.
Oh my god.
Little goblin hand. And he says, "Well, can I call you Freddy?" And he goes, "No." Well,
Aw.
okay.
He has a mustache. Could be Freddie Mercury.
He
Oh
does.
god.
Oh my god.
He says, "Well, Frederick, I have written up a contract you may be interested in reading," and he sort of pushes the paper across the desk. And this is the one that you can see. This is the document he started writing as you guys were leaving, in sort of a frantic rush. And he's written it in common, but it's not fantastic.
Oh no.
Just the quality of it, like the lines are all uneven and kind of trailing off in odd directions.
I'm guessing it also has to do with the fact that he's nervous.
Mm-hmm. This was rushed. He's not great with common, and especially the writing part. And it's just, it's a bit of a mess. But he slides it over toward the mustachioed man, and lets him read over it.
Gunther wants to peek over and read it as well.
Okay, and you can see that it's, while it is messy, it's still legible, mostly. There are a couple of things you have to reread because, like, the grammar and punctuation is a bit busted. But it's basically a contract that, in summary, it says that they're open to trade and open to housing visitors and that sort of thing.
Oh.
They mention nothing about the goblins leaving town. And Frederick looks back at him. He looks pretty cross. And he pushes the contract back toward the goblin, and he says, We want our town back. We want to live here again." And the goblin mayor is still sweating buckets. He kind of tugs at his collar to allow some air, and he says, "Yes, I'm sure in due time we can build enough houses here to accommodate everybody." And Frederick kind of looks back over to Gunther. He looks noticeably kind of upset, and he says, "What is this? Is this some kind of joke? We want our town back."
Yes, I know. This is something I might have forgotten to mention when I came to see the mayor here. So let's work this out. And Gunther says that says to the Goblin Mayor that actually, yes, they want their town back, and while I understand that building more space would be an idea, they actually just want to come back as soon as possible. If any, even now, actually.
But there's not enough room for all of us.
Yes, I know, and well, we have a few options available.
Okay.
And those
That's
options right now, Gunther's pretty much just playing with a like a dumpster fire.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
This is how I
You're
feel
dead.
about it. He's playing with a dumpster
Yeah.
fire.
yeah.
Right.
I want to say that Diana just kind of like interrupts a little, and she's like, I mean, given that this was originally their town, it's and you guys would like to make peace, it's kind of Goblin's problem to figure out the situation because you took this town from them.
Um, the mayor says, "Well, we're not the same goblins that were responsible for pillaging Derndarum initially."
Out of character, how does that work? It wasn't that long ago, was it?
It was a good few years ago,
I think
Okay.
you said 5 years last time.
about 5 years. Yeah.
It is quite a while, actually.
How long is a goblin's lifespan?
Is it short? Or...
I'll get the two of you, like Diana and Lazara, a nature check.
To roll what?
Nature check.
Oh,
Do you want me to roll it for you?
no, I got it. It's just gonna take a moment.
That's fine.
5 years later. I'm kidding.
Oh man.
Do you want me to roll it or?
It's in the middle of trying to roll.
Oh,
We're gonna have too many things at once.
yeah.
Yeah, if it's not working, just go ahead.
Okay. Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
there it
Never
is.
mind.
Here it be.
Yay. Lazira, you aren't really sure, but Diana, you know that goblins they reach adulthood at about age 8, and then they live to be roughly 60.
Hmm.
Well, that's
So
what
what
do they mean?
what I'm going to guess was that, like, if I remember correctly, Nick said last time that goblins don't really settle in places that they pillage. So what I'm thinking is one band of goblins is the one that pillaged it, and then these goblins kind of took over because it was empty.
Is that what happened?
Roll an insight check.
We could probably also ask.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, 12.
Yeah. You think that they were part of the initial group that sort of took the place over, but they kind of had a disagreement. There's one group that that pillaged the place and then moved on as they normally do, but that these guys decided to break away from them and stay here, thinking that it's like, oh, we can't do this violence anymore, that sort of thing.
But they took part in it.
Yes. You think so?